What's up, Coach Jesse Minch here. This is gonna be different than my typical video. This is gonna be a little bit of a rant, a little bit charged up right now, and also a little bit of advice. So this isn't for everyone, but if you got some big goals in basketball, this is definitely for you. Why you won't make the NBA. So this kind of bothers me. I hear from a lot of parents and players' friends and all kinds of people that, keep your expectations low. Don't, get worried about the NBA quite yet. And I think that's a terrible piece of advice, and I'm going to tell you right now why. Me personally, I was, if you know my backstory, I was a terrible basketball player. Absolutely horrible in grade school. There's games where I didn't play a single second in a lot of games. In high school, I barely got any playing time, and I could go over and over and over all my failures. And I'm not in the NBA, so you're like, well, why should I listen to your advice? Well, I want to give you a little story. I, at one point, decided to myself, you know what, I'm going to try to be the best ball handler in the world. Hence, this is where Get Handles came from. I got a passion for ball handling. And I said, you know what, I want to be the best ball handler in the world. That was my goal. Now, whether or not I achieved that is debatable. People could say, you're a great ball handler. Some people might even say I'm a terrible ball handler. But what I can tell you is I've got a lot better by setting that goal. Okay? I got to work with NBA stars. I got featured on an ESPN commercial. Basketball is my full-time job because I set the bar high. So if you set the bar high to make the NBA, let's say you don't make the NBA. Guess what? There's probably going to be a lot of opportunities that are out there for you if you really pursue it. Not as like, oh, it'd be cool if I could make the NBA, but you make that a dream and turn it into a goal. Okay? That's a big difference. Don't make it a dream. Make it a goal. Something, okay, this is something I'm going to work for. Every day, I got my roadmap. I'm going to make the high school team. I'm going to become a starter. I'm going to be all-state. I'm going to make college. And you make these little goals that you have to meet on the way there. You make your practice regimen based on how to get there. Because you have that big goal, it makes you laser focused. And now let's say you don't make the NBA. Well, first of all, if you don't have that goal to make the NBA and work towards it and think you can do it, you're not going to work towards it. If I didn't have the idea that, hey, I want to be the best ball handler in the world, basketball would not be my full-time job right now. I wouldn't have got to work with players like LeBron James, Chris Paul, all these NBA players. Millions of views on YouTube, all that stuff, right? That wouldn't have happened. Okay, so same thing for you. Maybe you don't reach that big goal of the NBA, but there's a lot of possibilities that could open. You could be a basketball coach. You could be a skills trainer. You could play pro overseas. You could get a college scholarship, get a free ride into school. Think about all those opportunities that are going to become available to you because you set the bar high. Now let's just say your goal is, hey, I'm just going to try to make the high school team this year, and if I don't, well, then I'm pretty much done. Guess what's going to happen? You got a 50-50 chance of making the high school team. But I bet you if your big goal is to make the NBA and you actually work towards it, not just say, oh, it'd be cool, or just say, hey, that's my goal, but you don't actually work towards it. But if you actually set a plan in place, find good resources. My channel can help you a lot in my workouts to help you improve your ability. But if you find some good resources, get a good plan, set the bar high, there's absolutely no reason that you can't do some big things in basketball. I'm not going to be here to tell you that you can or cannot make the NBA, but I can tell you why you won't. And why you won't is because you don't have the mentality for it. You don't put the work in. You don't set that goal. You don't set the bar high. Now, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people who watch this video and they're going to be like, well, coach, I'm 5'5". I'm probably not going to grow much anymore. What are my odds? I don't know. You tell me. Muggsy Bogues was 5'3". Spud Webb was 5'8", won a dunk contest, okay? And I'm willing to bet, those guys probably had some natural ability. But guess what? At that height, they had to put in a ton of work. And if you don't put in that work just like they did, then yeah, your chances are zero. So again, that's why you have to set the bar high, put the plan in place, and put the work in. It's not enough to just say it'd be cool to make the NBA and then sit on the couch and eat potato chips. You're not gonna get there. You gotta find, what your priorities are and say, okay, you know what? Maybe I'm gonna cut out hanging with friends a little bit more. Maybe, I'm gonna get rid of some of the junk food. Maybe I'm gonna wake up early to find time to work out. I hear from players all the time, coach, I don't have time to work out. That's bogus. That is so bogus. Don't come at me with that. I hate it when I hear that from players. I don't have time to work out. Make time. Set your alarm up earlier. Get a few hours less of sleep. Get your workout in the morning. Stay up a few hours later. Get your workout in. Not having time is not an excuse, especially when we're talking with your handles. I tell players that all the time. You can practice on your handles anywhere. I used to practice gravel driveway, practice on the grass, practice in the laundry room. There's no reason you can't find a place to get practice in on your handles. You can work on your shooting form, laying on the bed shooting, okay? There's no excuse. That's weak. That's what that is. And that's how you don't ever make the NBA. Because you have a million excuses and not enough ways to get the job done, okay? That's the big difference between the players that want to try to get somewhere and that don't. The players that don't get somewhere, they'll find any reason that they can that it's not going to work, or they'll find a million problems. Players that want to get somewhere, they take responsibility. They figure out what can they do to make it happen. How can they create a solution? How can they find the time? How can they find the place to practice? If you haven't watched my Handle Geek video, watch that. That is like a 2-minute video that covers what it takes to be a great, not just ball handler, but a basketball player. In fact, I'm going to link that down below if I remember to. But if you don't put that in place, making solutions and finding a way to get the job done, you're not going to ever make the NBA. I'll tell you right now, that's why you won't make the NBA. Okay? And if you're going to sit there and worry about your height, you're not going to make the NBA. If all you're saying is, well, I'm too short, it's not going to happen, then yeah, it's not going to happen. Okay? But again, if you set the bar high, yeah, maybe you can make the NBA. I'm not going to tell you that you absolutely will, but there's that chance. And even if you don't, there's going to be a lot of opportunities that open from that, especially if you're a coachable player. You learn all the skills that you get from basketball, of being a good person, being a good teammate, being coachable, listening, learning, applying, focusing on details, determination. Okay, there's all these little side benefits that come when you set those big goals. But if you just go out for basketball and say, well, if I make the team, whatever, or if I play a lot, whatever, yeah, you're not going to get as many of those benefits. But all the things you learn in basketball, whether you make the NBA or not, they're going to take you far in life. I can tell you that right now. There's so many values that you're going to get from that. So, a little bit of a rant video. I know it's something different. I don't know if you guys are going to, maybe this is going to tick some people off. Cool, whatever. I'm just laying it out there for you the way it is. Some of you guys might not even want to watch this video because it's not showing some crazy moves. But sometimes the cold hard truth is what you guys need. So I want to bring you guys something a little different. And something that, just lays it out there for you. This is what it is. This is how it is. And at the end of the day, this is what you need to hear. Maybe not what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. So as always, if you found this video helpful, click the subscribe button, get on the notification squad, leave me a comment if you found this helpful, and free workout, Defender Destroyer workout. Again, click that link, pop in your email, send that to you for free. But if you got big goals, you got to start getting good practice in place and start doing it regularly. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more and make moves today.